What would it take for you to commit murder? This boy murdered his ex-girlfriend for a free breakfast. Rebecca Aylward was born in 1995. She grew up in South Wales and was the eldest of 3 siblings. Rebecca got on very well with her siblings. She was a very kind and caring child. She was the sort of person who would stand up to bullies. She was also very academically intelligent and was a straight-A student. Rebecca was ambitious and had dreams of becoming a lawyer. When Rebecca was 11 years old, she met Joshua Davies. He was also academic. He was very good at school. He came from a good family, was charismatic, and a natural leader. He was very charming and they both shared a common interest in video games. They became very good friends. Over time they became closer and closer, and Joshua would spend more and more time around Rebecca's house, to the point where he kind of became an unofficial son to Sonia, Rebecca's mother. He even called her mum on occasions. Joshua had niche interests and hobbies, including collecting antique guns, hunting knives. He had many ornaments of kind of dark characters like devils, dragons. He didn't have any aggressive tendencies though. He wasn't someone who would start fights at school, and his friends said that his interests were unhealthy but not alarming. He was also a very good artist. He would draw pictures that were quite gory but still age appropriate. They had a dark theme running through them. He would also write stories about murders, devils. He liked the dark side, but not to an alarming extent. He did have the jovial nickname of Psycho in their friendship group, again done out of jest rather than concern. In 2009, when Rebecca was 14 and Joshua 15, they became officially boyfriend and girlfriend. Rebecca adored Joshua. He was tall, over 6 foot at this point, intelligent, handsome, charming. They both excelled academically. They were model students and kind of like a model dream couple. On one weekend, Josh spent the entire weekend at Rebecca's house, and they had a ton of fun playing video games, painting each other's nails, taking photos. They had an absolute blast. On the Sunday, Joshua's mum came and picked him up, and then a few hours later, he texted Rebecca to say that she was dumped. Rebecca was heartbroken, and even her mum was really confused, like what had happened between the few hours of Josh being picked up and him sending a text message breaking up with her daughter. After breaking up with Rebecca, Josh became really mean towards her. He spread vicious rumours about her. He told one friend that he broke up with her because she tried to trick him into getting her pregnant. He said to another friend that he broke up with her because she was going around saying that he had SA'd her. In reality, Rebecca believed that Josh broke up with her because she refused to have sex with him without a condom. It was kind of like a power play, like you're not doing what I want and therefore I'm going to make your life a misery. We don't know the real reason as to why he broke up with Rebecca. We can only surmise from what others have said. For whatever reason, he really wanted people to hate Rebecca. He spent a lot of time spreading vicious rumours, humiliating her, making sure that people turned against her, which absolutely broke Rebecca's heart. She still adored him, she loved him, and she didn't know where this was coming from, why he was doing this to her. It kind of just came out of nowhere. His plan was for everyone to turn against Rebecca and for her to have no friends. But this just didn't work. Rebecca was kind, caring, people liked her. So in the end, one friend kind of turned to him and said, look, we've only got 1 more year left of school, just leave her alone and then you'll just never have to see her again anymore. They were in like year 11, which is the last year of senior school in the UK. After that, you can go your separate ways to separate colleges, and that's that. Josh's response to that was that her mere existence makes him angry. So just knowing that she is alive fills him with rage. Rebecca begins to get scared, and she confides in a friend that she believes that Josh wants her dead. Unbeknown to her, Josh is going around to his friends saying all the ways he would kill Rebecca. They don't take this seriously. They just think it's banter and kind of fun and games. A very immature way of expressing his feelings of dislike towards Rebecca. He spoke about how he would push her off a bridge, knowing that she couldn't swim, how he would poison her. Josh had never been aggressive before, he'd never really been a bully, so people weren't concerned. They weren't alarmed. They thought maybe it was a little odd, but perhaps it was just a bad breakup. and he was saying these things off the cuff, kind of expressing his emotions, but no one was taking it seriously. In the summer of 2010, Rebecca gets very ill very quickly. She blacks out, she's vomiting. She ends up in hospital for a few weeks where doctors run tests on her and they just cannot work out what's wrong. All of her friends visit and text, but she has no correspondence with Josh. He doesn't check in to see if she's okay. Josh is just going about his school life and his normal days as if nothing's happened, even though everyone is very concerned about Rebecca. After a few weeks in hospital, she is better again and she goes home, goes back to school, and actually ends up finding another boyfriend, which Josh really does not like. Josh and his friends have this tradition. Every Saturday, they would all meet for breakfast in a local cafe. When Rebecca is released from hospital, Josh texts his friend, and this friend we are going to call Adam. He says, "What would you do if I kill Rebecca?" Adam responds, "I'd buy you breakfast." On October the 21st, 2010, Joshua texts Adam saying, "Don't say anything, but you might owe me a breakfast." Adam responded, "Best text I've ever read, mate. If it's true, I'm happy to pay for your breakfast." That day, Joshua texts Rebecca out of the blue saying he wants to meet up. Rebecca is over the moon. She still adores him, and so she thinks this is their chance to reconcile, to make things up, and maybe get back together. They plan to meet up in a couple of days' time. She's so excited, she buys an entirely new outfit for this occasion. And on the morning of their meetup, she wakes really early, around 6 a.m. to start getting ready. She wants everything to be perfect. Her makeup, her outfit. She really wants to impress Josh. So at the same time, Josh is meeting his friends for this traditional breakfast, and he leaves with a smile on his face saying the time has come. So Rebecca gets on the train and is travelling down to meet Josh at a very kind of popular meeting point that lots of teenagers go to and frequent. When she's on the train, Josh messages her saying there's been a change of plan and he now wants to meet her in the village. Rebecca phones her mum Sonia to say, "Look, change of plans, I'm going to go to the village instead." Sonia feels uneasy about this. She doesn't know why, but she just does. So she stays on the phone with Rebecca until she has met up with Josh. The two of them walk together and kind of are casually chatting. They go to a local park and make their way into kind of a small wooded area. Once they are out of plain sight, Josh immediately begins to attack Rebecca, trying to break her neck. But it just didn't work, so he quickly grabs the nearest rock and starts smashing it into her skull. Rebecca is screaming in excruciating pain as Josh is smashing this rock into her skull until eventually she passes away. Meanwhile, Josh's friends are waiting for him just outside the woods. Adam messaged him saying, "Are you with Rebecca?" To which Josh said, "Define with." Adam responds saying, "I want all the details, you sadistic bastard." Josh asked Adam if he wants to come see Rebecca, so he does, but Adam later says it felt like he had stepped into a cold shower or a horror movie. Josh wasn't upset or anything, but Adam immediately upon seeing Rebecca was horrified. Rebecca was wearing a hoodie that was pulled up and she was lying face down in the dirt. Josh said to Adam, "Why don't you take a look at her face?" Then the guys all left the woods. Josh then went to his grandmother's house and just sat there watching telly and drinking tea. He then updated his Facebook status to say, "I enjoyed a rather good day today and had a lovely breakfast." He just does not care. He has no remorse. He wasn't even horrified at what he had done. He's just carrying on his day as if nothing happened. He's literally just beaten his ex-girlfriend to death. And he's only like a 15-year-old boy and he just has absolutely no guilt, nothing. He's just sat watching movies, updating his Facebook status. So hours roll by and Sonia, Rebecca's mother, begins to get worried. She's ringing around everyone. She's calling Rebecca's number constantly and there's no answer. She finally gets hold of Josh, who says that he hasn't seen Rebecca all day. So then she calls the police. Josh, after receiving a phone call from Rebecca's mother, texts Rebecca's number to say, "Where are you? We're all worried." This is his attempt to try and cover his tracks and make him seem not guilty. The next day rolls around and there's still no sign of Rebecca. Adam, by this point, is feeling horrendous, and he decides to tell his parents that he believes Rebecca has been hurt. They contact the police and Adam shows them exactly where Rebecca's body is. Police then go and pay Josh a visit, who immediately tries to pin the blame on Adam. He said that they were trying to prank Rebecca, it went wrong. Adam kind of went into a fit of rage and ended up murdering Rebecca. The scene is taped off and the murder weapon is found. After testing, the rock had fibres from Rebecca's clothing and also Josh's jacket. Police then search Josh's room and find a mixture of foxglove, deadly nightshade and Coca-Cola. This would lend itself to the idea that perhaps Josh had poisoned Rebecca in the past, and that's how she mysteriously became so suddenly ill and was hospitalised. So this perhaps wasn't the first attempt on Rebecca's life. Josh had repeatedly tried to murder her. Throughout questioning, Josh maintained his innocence and tried to pin the blame on Adam. The police didn't believe him and he was charged with murder. At trial, he was found guilty of murder and given a minimum sentence of 14 years. Even though he was a minor, his name was still released as they believed the crime was so bad that he didn't deserve anonymity. He has tried to shorten his sentence by being a model prisoner, and in 2018 he even admitted his guilt. Not probably because he felt guilty, but because he believed that this would perhaps lead to his release. Age 30, he is eligible for parole this year, and Sonia, Rebecca's mother, thinks his sentence is a joke. It is shorter than Rebecca's life. There is an ongoing petition to keep him behind bars, as Sonia believes he is a danger to society. I will put the link to that in the description below. That was the case of Rebecca Aylward and Josh Davies, the boy who murdered for a free breakfast. If you like my content, please remember to like, subscribe and comment, and I will see you in the next one.